The Nice Guys is an action comedy starring Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, co-written and directed by Shane Black, set in Los Angeles, 1977. So Ryan is a private investigator, a bit of a clumsy guy called Holland March. Russell is a tough guy. He's a heavy for hire called Jackson Healy, and they're both involved in the case of a missing girl. Start off on opposite sides of the case, but then they eventually realise there are so many complications and twists and turns to it that they need to work together. So you get a buddy movie with this backdrop of the sleazy, sexy, smoggy world of Los Angeles in the late 70s, this world of drugs and adult movies and corruption. Unsurprisingly, with all that, it's a certificate 15. Here's a clip of The Nice Guys.
March, Jack Healy, don't get upset. I'm not here to hurt you. Just want to ask you a question. Hey, no.
How stupid do you think I am? Ever since your little visit the other day, this little baby's gonna stay right here. Look away.
You know there's a mirror here, right?
Close your eyes.
I enjoyed it. This is, as I said, co-written and directed by Shane Black. And what he's very good at, I feel, is doing dumb movies that are quite smart. The Nice Guys is, if you want it to be, just a dumb movie, just an action comedy, what Roger Ebert used to call a oneser film. One's a heavy for hire, one's a goofy PI. Together they are The Nice Guys. And if you're after that, you know, just the gags and some fights and some swearing, it's here, it works on that level. But I do think there's another layer there as well, which is the smarter layer, which is all about the quips and the performances and just the beats of the dialogue, the production. So it is the dumb buddy movie, the oneser movie, but it just has that second layer of panache and style about it as well. And like a lot of other Shane Black movies, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3 with Ben Kingsley, Last Action Hero. So it has filmmaking as a backdrop as well. So it's as much a film about movie making and storytelling and script writing and that world, that sultry Hollywood world, as it is the thriller, as it is a whodunit. And that's a really fun mix that I really enjoyed. There's a lot of things going on here in terms of the mix, because you can see the kind of Tango and Cash influence, you know, the 80s buddy movie. You can see Boogie Nights. It's that world, that era of Boogie Nights. It's the film noir. I mean, it's Chinatown and LA Confidential. And of course, Russell Crowe was in LA Confidential. Kim Basinger's in this as well. She was also in LA Confidential. So there's lots of references in there. And it was a mix that I really enjoyed. However, when I met you this earlier today, we were in the lift. We were going up to the studio here at the BBC. And I said, The Nice Guys, really enjoyed it. What did you think? And you said something to me that I was very surprised by, which was...
staggering indifference.
Indifference. Now, I could kind of see hatred towards this or love of this movie. Indifference was not something I expected.
I'll tell you for why, James. For me, every time you said another film there, it just reminded me of my experience in the cinema. I thought, it's a bit like that, but not quite as good.
Right.
And I didn't care enough for the characters. I thought Ryan Gosling was very funny in it, by the way. I should say that, and made me laugh. I thought his clowning was superb. But it had a similar effect on me as the David O. Russell film, American Hustle. And it looked beautiful. Everything was grand. You know, the costumes, the hair, the production values were great. Seemed to, pastiche that time slot really well. But I was just left cold. I didn't find any of those deeper layers. And at times I actually got irritated by... I mean, first off, I find sometimes if you put a little girl in an action film, then it's sort of like your way of saying, that's our license to just have like these semi-naked women here, a few semi-naked women there, and Russell Crowe's character to me was just a bit of a meathead, no more. It was like, no, he's complicated because he had a drinking problem once, just give him some booze, and it just, I don't know if I was in a bad mood that day or what, but it left me with nothing.
Well, what I will say is I watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang again the other day, which is also a buddy movie, a Shane Black buddy movie with Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. And it's certainly not as zany or as dark or as knowing as that film. It does feel more like him trying to make a hit film, smoothing out some of the edges.
Yeah.
And that might be one of the problems you had with it, that it was just a bit too smooth.
I guess I was just expecting, a bit more bite in every scene, a bit more like this means something. It didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't feel there was deeper meaning, and a lot of the time you don't need that. I mean, look at Lawless,
Yeah, Misconduct.
Misconduct, Paris Nights, whatever we're going to call it. Sometimes just fluff is fluff, and it's great
Yeah.
fluff. But I guess because it was Ryan, because it was Russell, because it was a big deal, I wanted a bit more.
I would say I found that richer layer. But if you're wanting Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Volume 2, it's not quite that movie.